Elder Scrolls Online. Is it worth a buy? Let's read. Return to Tamriel in the Elder Scrolls Online, the latest chapter of the award-winning series, and bring the legendary experience online for the first time. Not strictly true, there was a co-op mod for Skyrim. Just thought I'd mention that. Explore the vast world with friends or embark upon an epic adventure alone. The choices you will make will shape your destiny. Now, I'm not daft. I do know that you can't review an MMO till you've played it all the way to the top level, done the end game, and then you can do a review. So it's going to be 3 to 6 months before the real big reviews, the proper reviews, come out. Any reviews that come out before then, including this one, take with a pinch of salt, because I have not played the game long enough to give a very accurate description on whether this game is worth a buy. So this isn't a strict worth a buy video. This is my early impressions of the game, and do I think it's even worth attempting to play. That's what you're going to get from this. I have played it through pretty much most of the closed beta, certainly enough to give my opinion on what I think of the game. So I'm going to come clean with it. It's nothing special. I didn't like it. I honestly don't think it's worth sinking money into. The base pack is £50, then you have to pay £8.99 a month. Now, I'm not against monthly subscriptions. I mean, I played World of Warcraft for 6 years. I do know all about monthly subscriptions. I've played pretty much every MMO out there. To make a successful MMO, you have to have immersion. It has to be an immersive experience. You have to bring in the people into the game. And if you start controlling what they do in the game, you're going to lose subscriptions straight away. The thing that made World of Warcraft so successful was that it was a game you could immerse yourself in. It was a living, breathing world and it wasn't telling you what you had to do. I mean, yes, there was quests littered around the place, but you were your own person. You could do what the hell you want. If you wanted to start a war, you could start a bloody war if you had the numbers. And that was what made that game so successful. And that is what has destroyed so many MMOs since then, because they haven't done that. They haven't followed the basic rules. And the basic rules of an MMO are world PvP is a must. Having you fight it in some far off isle is just going to ruin your game, because let's be honest, the AI in an MMO is the worst you'll ever see in any game ever. It has to be, because there has to be so many and many different varieties, and they are there for one reason only. They're not there to kill you. They're there to cause a grind, to give you stats, to give you loot, to give you experience. That's all they're there for. They're not there for any other reason. And so the games become incessantly boring if all you do is fight NPC after NPC after NPC. If the only danger in the world is whether you're a complete prick and you can't fight the most dumbed down NPCs, then you've got a boring game on your hand. Why do you think Lord of the Rings Online, possibly the most successful franchise ever in film rights, has been a complete and utter flop? I'll tell you why. One reason only why Lord of the Rings Online has been an absolute disaster, hovering at about 250,000 subscribers. It's because it's fucking boring as anything. You know, I played Lord of the Rings for 6 months, tried my utmost. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Tried to get into it, but I knew as I was riding around Bree and the Shire that some fucking orc was not going to jump out and rape me face, because there isn't any fucking world PvP in it, is there? If you want to fight an orc in Lord of the Rings, you have to go to the designated fucking area of the world where the orcs are allowed to come out and play. What a pile of shit. Can you, I mean, why? Who are these people that come up with these fucking retarded ideas? It's like, did they not even watch Lord of the fucking Rings? You know, that fucking film, Lord of the Rings, is fraught with danger. Even when they're in the fucking hotel, the wraiths come and try to rape them in their sleep. That's how fucking dangerous it is. So then they make a game where it's safe as fucking houses. I don't think I ever died in Lord of the Rings in 6 months. It is boring. Why do you think World of Warcraft was so successful? Because you're out questing, and then all of a sudden this fucking undead rogue spawns behind you and goes and then sticks his knife in your spleen and twists it. That's fun. That's excitement. You're out there, you're thinking, shit, I'm out on me fucking little horse here. Clippity-clop, clippity-clop, clippity-clop. You go around a corner in a forest, and then you know what you see? You don't see some stupid little NPC wolf. No, you see 6 guys on horses, all from the opposite faction, just standing there going, alright lads, dinner time. And then you've got to fucking run for it. That was excitement. You didn't know what was round the next corner. Now when I was playing The Elder Scrolls Online, oh god, how fucking boring it was in the world. Every corner you go around, you see some stupid NPC standing there going, hi, free kill here, free kill, come and get your free kill. And it's boring. I couldn't play it for more than an hour at a time because I knew, and it was a horrible feeling, I knew that as I was questing, I was so unbelievably safe. Nothing was ever going to jump out on me. Nothing was ever going to surprise me. I was never going to run across the enemy. It was always going to be just the same old boring fucking NPC mass slaughter. And that doesn't appeal to me. I need more from my games. I need a bit of danger. I hate going around a world that's perfectly fucking safe. And am I going to buy this game? No. So you're never going to get an updated review of Endgame Elder Scrolls because I would need to be on antidepressants to actually get to the bloody end game of this. It's going to be so bloody boring. I find no challenge in shooting NPCs because they're shit. It's as simple as that, especially in a game where you can get overpowered loot and overpowered abilities. But Mac, it's got this great big area where you can go and Cyrodiil, it's called, where you can go and do PvP. No, that's what they tried to do with Guild Wars, and that's shit. That's no good. I don't want to go to a place and say, if you step into here, you are going to do PvP. No, I want PvP everywhere, except for the usual safe zones that you should have. I don't want to go somewhere to do me PvP, because that means that the other 90% of the game's fucking boring. So that was the PvP section. The other thing I couldn't get immersed in was the graphics. It didn't look real. The world looked too false. It looked like a studio set. I can't put my finger on it exactly, but as I was walking around, I would suddenly stop and go, this doesn't look real. It doesn't look dirty enough. Everything looks clean. It looks like it's all just been built by they look like props in a studio set, you know. It just doesn't do it for me. It doesn't do it. I never once got immersed. I never once felt that. I mean, I go into Skyrim, right, and I'm immersed. As much as it's a single player game, I kind of program myself. It's a single player game, Mike. You're not going to get ganked in here. But I play it for a single player game. But when I'm playing an MMO, it's a different ball game. I want to be ganked. You know, I need that when I'm playing. I need that danger. Without it, it's just, Mike, you've already covered that point. Get on with the graphics. Yeah, the graphics were boring. Very, very clean. Didn't feel like I was in any kind. I didn't know whether I was inside or outside. It was so kind of lifeless. A bit like Star Wars Tour, and I'm going to compare this game a lot to Star Wars the Old Republic, because they've made the same mistake Star Wars the Old Republic did. In Star Wars the Old Republic, the world PvP was abysmal. You were so far apart, the Alliance and the Empire, that I got all the way to end game level, and I only had one PvP encounter, and that was on from launch when everybody was playing it. It was ridiculous. And with that game, the whole emphasis was on NPCs. Now, one of the things with an MMO, you don't need good NPCs because nobody cares. I wasn't reading the story. I don't give a shit. I tried to get into it, but I couldn't. And it was just like, oh yeah, whatever. Just give us your fucking loot, you little twat. Give us what do you want us to do? Give us your quest. What? Have I got to go and kill some foxes and collect the fucking tails for you? And, you know, and that kind of stuff. That nobody wants to hear a long-winded. The NPCs go on and on and on about bullshit. We don't care. We just want our epics. That's all we want. You know, have you learnt nothing? So the NPCs, all the money they've spent on voiceovers and all that, totally wasted. You should just say when you click, do you want a quest? Yes. Alright, go there, do that. I give you this KKGG. You know, that should be it. That would appeal to us more, because we don't care about stories and all the rest of it. Well, I don't anyway. You know, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it, guys. It's not. How dare they charge £70 to play as an Imperial, and then there's a cash shop and a monthly fee? Fool to you for buying it, essentially. I'm not buying this. No way. It's not going to be in my collection. I'll play it when it goes free to play in a year, and it will. Mark my words. Or come back to this video and ridicule me. In 1 year's time, this game will be free, because after 6 months, nobody will be playing it, and the shareholders will cry, and so they'll have to change the whole thing around. They'll do a Star Wars tour. I predicted that would go free to play in a year, and I was laughed at by the fanboys. And guess what? In a year's time, it was free to play, and it's still doing shit. So there you go. There's a lot of character customization, which is a strong point of this game. There's a lot of different classes, and the only saving grace for this game is that you can customize your class. I quite like the way it was. I was an archery rogue. I didn't even use daggers or any kind of melee weapon. I was just an archer, but I had the rogue abilities of stealth, which only lasted for 2.5 seconds, by the way, but I know I can make that a bit bigger as I level up. So I had fun with the archer. The combat system isn't quite as skillful as they make out to be. With a bow, I was aiming at people, but then if I suddenly aimed at the floor, the arrow still hit them, which was quite hilarious. But yeah, the combat's better than WoW. You know, it's not as restricted as WoW, so that's a plus. But overall, guys, I am very, very disappointed. I was looking forward to this game. I was all ready to buy it and subscribe to it, and I was looking forward to a good year of The Elder Scrolls Online with lots of PvP. There are different factions fighting each other, but it's not going to happen, and which is why I'm not going to play it. You can stick your side Rodale PvP zone up your arse. That's not what I want. I don't want a glorified battleground. I want proper world PvP immersion. It's just a shame. That's all the Care Bears. I blame the Care Bears who can't stand being ganked. And there'll be a few of them on here saying, yeah, WoW, go back to WoW, getting corpse camped all the time. No, you didn't. I played WoW for 6 years, got corpse camped about 20 times in 6 years, and I played it every night. So, you know, bog off. Mac, shut up. So this is definitely not worth a buy.